stop. Like, I still feel like I'm 27. I do. I feel like I'm still in my 20s. I'm not in my 20s. My doctor knows I'm not in my 20s. Your girl's in her 30s. My birthday is next month, and it is so crazy. I still feel like I'm in my 20s. I just feel like it was yesterday I was celebrating my 27th birthday, and here I am. Man, time is going by fast. So, what are some things that I wish I could tell my younger self? For one, focus less on things and more on experiences. I think about like when I was in college, I really wanted to do study abroad. I wanted to do study abroad in Italy. At that time, I was majoring in fashion PR, and I really wanted to study abroad in Italy, and I didn't do it because of the money. And like thinking back, it was probably like $1,000. But at that time, I was like, $1,000. Oh my God, like that just seems like such a large amount of money. I wish I would have did it. I wish I would have found a way. $1,000 could have been attainable. I could have just worked a lot. I could have found a way to make $1,000. You know, I could have applied for more grants. I could have applied for scholarships. But I do wish like I would have took more experiences, especially in college, over like things and over like clothes and fashion and shoes. And even now, just like the past few years, I really started prioritizing experiences over stuff. So I no longer buy lots of clothes. I no longer buy lots of shoes. I no longer buy lots of makeup, but I do prioritize experiences. I even tell my friends and my family, like, hey, don't buy me no clothes. Don't buy me no shoes. Buy me an experience. Take me out to eat. Let's do a paint night. Like, let's do something together. I have enough stuff. So that's one thing that I wish I would have told my younger self is to really prioritize experiences over stuff, because experiences, they are so valuable. They're invaluable. You know, stuff comes and goes. A lot of the clothes I was buying, it's out of style now. I can't fit anymore. It's no longer as cute as it used to be, right? But an experience I take with me. I learn from it. I take something from it. It's memories, right? So I do wish I would have prioritized experiences more over stuff.
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Number two, I wish I would have invested more. I have always been a saver. I worked at the bank when I was in college. I've always been a really good saver. I've always been really good with, you know, building up my credit. I remember when I was like 25 years old and I had like an 800 credit score back when I was 25. Like I've always been really, really good with money, saving money. However, I wish I would have found ways to make more money.
Money in motion.
I wish I would have invested. I wish I would have learned about the stock market back. I wish I would have really tapped into investing. Even savings account. I had a savings account that was paying me like 1 penny every single quarter. Had I just taken that money and put it into a high yield savings account, I would have made more money. I would have made, instead of a penny, I would have made $10 every single month. That would have added up. So I do wish that I would have invested more and I would have found ways to make my money make money. Whether it's putting the money into stocks, whether, you know, putting my money into a high yield savings account, whether, you know, putting my money into a certificate, something that would have gave me interest, something that would have appreciated, and something that would have gave me money. You know, just having money just sit in my account and nothing happens. I do wish that I would have invested my money. And I also wish I would have bought Amazon early on. I'm sure everybody wishes they bought Amazon early on, but that's some advice I definitely would tell myself if I was younger. Girl, buy all the Amazon stock. It's gonna blow up in 2020. It's gonna blow up. Something else I wish I would have told myself is to read more.
I read books, Josh.
When I got out of graduate school, I was not picking up books like that. I pick out like a book every year, and it was like fiction. I wish I would have read self-improvement books. I didn't start reading self-improvement books and business books and stuff that really grow my mind. I didn't start reading books like that until I was like 29. When I really got serious with my business, my online business, that's when I really started reading more like self-help books. And I wish I would have read those books early on. I wish I would have read more mindset books early on. Right now, currently, I would be so much further along if I had read books in my 20s that were all about self-improvement. And I didn't until I was in my early 30s, late 20s. And I remember as a kid saying like reading is fundamental. I can't even say it right. And it is, but reading just allows you to learn more. It allows your brain to keep going. You know, you're out of college, you're out of school. How are you continuing to improve? And you do that by learning, whether that's audiobooks, whether that's physical books. I wish I would have really tapped into that more. And then one more thing is reading books allows you to not focus so much on yourself. When you're having hard times, when you're feeling low, reading books allows you to see see other people's life. Like, oh, this person had a low time in their life as well. I'm not alone. Oh, this person had failure after failure as well, but they never gave up. I'm not alone. I can't go to Michael Jordan's house and interview him. I would love to. Michael Jordan, if you're watching this, I would love to interview you, but I can't right now, right? But what I can do is I can buy his book and learn from him. It's a way to pick his brain without me having to actually physically know him. Books allow you to learn about a person, to know about a person, and almost pick their brain. And I do wish that when I was in my 20s, I would have took advantage of that more. You know, now they have Kindle, now they have Audible, now they have Scribe, they have all of these resources that help you learn more. And I think that is so important, especially no matter how old you are. I think it's so important to read and to continuously improve your thinking and your mind and self-improvement. Whew, this is a good one. And that is that my vision does not require other people's validation. So back in like 2014, I lost my job and I was going to just be a full-time content creator. And I was doing pretty well. Like I did not have any months where I missed bills. I didn't have any months where I went hungry. Like I was doing really well. But I had people around me who was like, you need to get a corporate job. You need to go back to corporate. Like this YouTube thing ain't gonna last. This YouTube thing is just trendy. It's not gonna go anywhere. You need to do what everybody else does. So I went back to corporate, and that's probably one of my biggest regrets. Is I wish in 2014 I just wanted to be a full-time content creator. I wish I would have took that leap instead of feeling like, oh, this won't last and running to get a job, which I ended up getting a job and I hated it. I wish I would have took a bet on myself back in 2014 because other people spoke their fears into me. I gave in because others did not see my vision. I felt like it wasn't for me. Your vision does not require other people's validation. I say this so much. I say this so often. And the reason why I say this so often is because I was there. I allowed people to talk me out of my dreams. I allowed those around me to put their human limitations on God's expansion for me. Your vision does not require other people's validation. If you have a vision for your life, if you have dreams, if you have goals, other people do not have to confirm those. They do not have to say, yes, Brie, you can do it. Yes, Brie, you're going to be successful. They don't have to support it. Is it nice if they support it? Absolutely. Would it be amazing if they supported you and they say they see it for you and you can do it and you got this and they encourage you? Absolutely. It'd be amazing if they did those things. But it is not required. It is not necessary, and it is not needed for your success.
You are preaching to the choir.
I remember a few years ago, I wanted to have my very first in-person event. I remember telling a friend, and my friend was like, everybody's having events these days. Oh my gosh, like, was that the new thing, like events? And she just really had me second guessing myself, like, dang, should I have an in-person event? Dang, will anybody show up? I was so excited about having an in-person event. And then I told a friend, and because she didn't see that vision, she spoke fear into me. And I, for a moment, believed her. But I had the event anyway. I had this event. The event sold out in less than 3 weeks. I didn't run any ads. I posted on Facebook and Instagram a few times, and the event sold out in less than a month. Then I had another event, and that event sold out as well. You see what I'm saying? Like, your vision doesn't require other people's validation. What if I had listened to my friend and said, dang, I'm not going to have this event because everybody else having events. It's too saturated. What if I had listened to her? I wouldn't have my sold out events. I wouldn't have been able to help people. I wouldn't have been able to influence people. I had those events. People said, because of your event, I started my business. Because of your event, I made money with my knowledge. Because of your event, I felt listened to. I felt wanted. I felt needed. I felt like I belonged. I had so many people tell me from my event, they learned a lot. They truly enjoyed themselves. They felt like they belonged. They didn't feel like they was an empowerment event where, girls were being, really catty and very like cliquish. They felt like they belong. And that's always been my goal for my events. I want you to feel like you belong. I always go to events by myself for the most part. And there have been events I went to where it felt very cliquish. And I don't want that for my event. So I had my event and people said that they felt like they belonged. And I love that. I love that for me. And I love that for them. And that would not have happened if I felt like I needed other people's validation to do things I want to do. I have to show up. God does the rest. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the call. So with that said, your vision does not require other people's validations. Do not allow people to talk you out of your dreams and aspirations. Do not allow people to put their humanly limitations on God's expansion.
1,000,000%.
Go where you are celebrated and not just tolerated. And this is in everything, in relationships, at work, everything. You know, I don't want a job where I hate being there and they don't like me there. I'm just there just because I'm tolerated. I've been in relationships and I've had boyfriends that I knew were not the one for me. But it was like, oh, I don't want to be single, or oh, I don't want to be alone, or oh, this is comfortable, or oh, what else is out there? You know, like I've had that in my 20s. I've had relationships where I knew they needed to end, but I was just too scared to end them. I was tolerating something when I could be having something that I could celebrate. Having a relationship should be fun. You should feel loved. You should feel supported. I don't want to go to, you know, establishments, whether that's a grocery store or the corner store. I don't want to go anywhere where I'm not celebrated. I'm just tolerated. I don't want to buy products from companies that tolerate me, but don't celebrate me. Don't celebrate the melanin of my skin. Don't celebrate the fullness in my lips. Don't celebrate the kinkiness in my hair. Don't celebrate me as a person. So another thing I would tell my younger self is to go where you are celebrated and not just tolerated. If you're tolerated, they don't care about you. They don't really want you there. They just allow you to be there. In relationships with men, they don't love you. They don't value you. You're just a girl. When it comes to work, go where you are celebrated, not tolerated. You spend a lot of your time at work. You spend a lot of your time working. It would suck to spend majority of your life working a job you hate. It would suck. Go where you're celebrated. Go and do things that you can celebrate and you enjoy and you love and fulfill you. Don't go where you just tolerate it or things you just tolerate. So that's what I would tell myself. I have the power to manifest the things I want and that God fulfills the desires of my heart. If you want more, talk about the desires of my heart, please check out the video where I talk about how I manifested my dream life. But I wish I would have told myself that in the 20s. Like, I have the power to do that. I have the power to make money. I have the power to have a job that I enjoy. I have the power to manifest an amazing husband. I have the power to manifest healthy friendships. I have the power to manifest wealth and healthiness and abundance. I can do that. The things I desire, God wants to give to me. The things I desire, God gave me those desires. I wish I could tell my younger self that everything I desire can be mine. Everything I desire is not unrealistic. It can be for me. It is for me. And God has already said it is within me if I desire it.
What on earth are you doing? I'm manifesting.
I feel like in my 20s, there were things I wanted, but I would always have this like stinking thinking like,
oh, that's not possible for you, or oh, who do you think you are?
I didn't see anybody else who had achieved it, so I didn't think it was possible for me. And I think that's another reason why reading books and going to networking events and expanding your circle is so important, because you see that things are possible for you outside of yourself. You see what is possible. You see people from different backgrounds and different walks of life. You know, I know so many Black women who are millionaires, young Black millionaires. I did not grow up around millionaires. I didn't even know that there was something that I could desire. Like, I didn't know that I could desire to be a millionaire. Now I can say I'm going to be a millionaire one day. I am going to be a multimillionaire one day. I'm going to set my family up. I'm going to set my kids up. I had to get out the mud a little bit. My kids will not. I'm going to build wealth. 10 years ago, I would have been like, no way. I would have thought I was crazy to even desire wanting to be a millionaire. I would have thought I was crazy, to make $10,000 in a month, to make $20,000 in a month. Like, I did not think that was possible for me, but it is. And when I made my first 20K in 1 month, I was like, what the heck? Like, how is this possible? And then I met people who made $50,000 in 1 month and $100,000 in 1 month and 1 million in 1 month. Like, you can manifest your dream life. Nothing is impossible for you. If you desire it, it is yours. So I wish I would have told myself in my 20s that if I desire it, it is for me. Oh, it's okay. Accept it. Own it. Be open to it. My God-given gifts are never curses. I remember my advisor in college telling me, you have the face and you have the personality to be on TV. You can be on a talk show. He literally told me that. At that time, I was majoring in advertising. And when you major in advertising, you have to take like journalism classes. And y'all, I sucked at those journalism classes. I sucked so bad. My grades were just like, I barely passed those journalism classes. But I remember my advisor saying, you're too creative for journalism. You write how you talk. You are very like lively. You're very creative. And then I got into corporate. And in corporate, at least where I was, it was frowned upon to be creative. It was frowned upon to be bright. I had to dim myself down so much in corporate. I had to lessen myself. I had to wear a mask. mask. And if you know what it feels like to wear a mask, it is suffocating in corporate. But I had to be very professional. Like I really had to diminish myself and lessen myself as a person. And it felt like a curse at times. You know, I remember having bosses who made me feel less than, who made me feel unintelligent, who made me feel like I wasn't a hard worker, who made me feel like I wasn't smart enough or good enough or cool enough. But I have learned, and I wish I would have known this when I was in my 20s, but my God-given gifts are not a curse. I want to teach people. I love teaching people. Back in corporate, I would teach people and my boss would be like, oh, are you just trying to train everybody? Like you're just trying to take my job. Your God-given strengths are not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing that you're creative. It's not a bad thing that you're straight to the point and that you are really good at training people. It's not a bad thing. And especially, like I said, in corporate, I always just felt like the things I were really good at were looked down upon. Something else that I wish would have told myself is I'm allowed to be dynamic. Oh, girl, you can love Jesus. You can love God, but you can also like twerking. I don't have to choose. I can be dynamic. I am dynamic. It is okay to be dynamic. I don't have to fit into a box. I don't have to allow others to put me into a box. But I think even more important than that is I don't have to put myself into a box. I don't have to. I don't have to subscribe to that. I can be a Kentucky-born little brown girl from a single household who grows up to be a millionaire, who enjoys praying, who enjoys doing a little twerk every now and then, who enjoys brunch, who enjoys doing ratchet things with her friends. I can be dynamic.
It is possible to achieve all your dreams.
Being dynamic is okay. I don't have to only be this one layer or this one person. And then the last thing I wish I could tell my younger self is, don't be in a rush to figure things out. I am getting closer and closer to my mid-30s, and I'm gonna be in my 40s, hopefully, because old age is a privilege and not to many. I hope I get to see those ages. I don't have it all figured out. My mom, she's twice my age. My mom told me the other day, she said, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. That's what my mom told me. She said she is still trying to figure out what she wants to be when she grows up. And that is so powerful because for one, you don't have to rush things. You don't have to rush to figure things out. You don't have to. You're gonna redefine yourself many times. The dreams I had when I was in my 20s, some of those things I don't desire anymore. It's okay. And I think the older you get, the more of you become. You don't have to rush to figure stuff out. You don't have to rush to become this person or get to this destination. Like life is not a race. Life is a journey. Life should be fun. I don't have to rush to figure things out. I still don't have all the things figured out. But what I do know is that this life that I'm living currently, I am enjoying the life that I'm living. I am manifesting the things I desire. I am surrounded by love. People who love me, people who I love. I receive love. I give love. I start with love. I come from love. I curate love. There's so much love that surrounds. I love it. I love the abundance of it. And I don't have to rush. I don't have to rush to figure things out. Because for one, I'm constantly changing. I'm constantly growing. I'm constantly evolving. What worked for me 3 years ago may not work for me now. For two, there's power in redefining yourself. I am powerful. You are powerful. So here are some things that I wish I could tell my younger self. So let me know down below, what's some advice you wish that you give your younger self? I'll talk to you guys in my very next episode. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay beautiful, and of course, stay blessed. I'll talk to you later. Bye guys.